Why Brookhaven won't die. Brookhaven has been one of the biggest games on Roblox for years. And somehow, while so many other popular Roblox games have come and gone, Brookhaven is still here. We've seen games become insanely popular, reach millions of players, and then completely fall off a few months later. But Brookhaven just keeps going. So what makes Brookhaven different? Before I explain, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy Roblox news, updates, and interesting topics like this one. Now let's get into why Brookhaven just won't die. The biggest reason is actually pretty simple. You can't really beat Brookhaven. Think about most popular Roblox games. Usually there's some kind of goal you're working toward. You start off with basic items, you grind for better ones, you unlock new areas, and eventually you reach a point where you've basically done everything the game has to offer. And once that happens, a lot of players start getting bored. Maybe you've unlocked every weapon. Maybe you've collected every pet. Maybe you've reached the highest level or completed every quest. Eventually, you can look at the game and think, what else am I supposed to do? Brookhaven doesn't really have that problem because there's no real ending. You aren't trying to reach some final level or defeat a final boss. You're just creating your own experience. You could spend one day pretending to be a family, then come back the next day and run a hospital with your friends. You could become a police officer, start a restaurant, buy a house, drive around the city, or just make up some completely random story. And the best part is that none of those things are something you can actually finish. There's always another story you can make, another role you can play, or another thing you can do with your friends. That's a huge reason why Brookhaven can keep people playing for years instead of just until they reach the end of the game. Another big reason is how easy Brookhaven is to understand. When you first join, you aren't thrown into a massive tutorial explaining 20 different systems. You don't have to learn a complicated combat system, memorize a bunch of controls, or spend hours grinding before you can actually have fun. You pretty much join, look around, choose what you want to do, and start playing. And that might sound like a small thing, but it's actually a huge advantage on Roblox. There are millions of different players, and not everyone wants to spend hours learning a complicated game. Someone who's been playing Roblox for 10 years can join Brookhaven and have fun, but someone who just downloaded Roblox yesterday can do the exact same thing. The game doesn't expect you to already know how everything works. You can just jump in. And because of that, Brookhaven is able to attract a much wider audience than a game that takes a long time to understand. Brookhaven is also different, because it's more of a social experience than a traditional game. When you play something like a simulator, you're usually trying to become stronger, unlock better items, or reach the next area. But in Brookhaven, there's not really a winner. You're not joining because you need to beat everyone else. You're joining because your friends are there, or because you want to create a story and mess around. That's why the same map can feel completely different depending on who you're playing with. One day you might spend an hour doing a family role play, and the next day you could be pretending to run a business with your friends. You could make a school, start a police department, create a giant family, or just drive around causing chaos. The game doesn't tell you what your experience has to be. You decide. And that's something that can keep a game interesting for a really long time. Another reason Brookhaven has stayed relevant is because of content creators. For years, people have been making Brookhaven videos on YouTube, TikTok, and other platforms. You've probably seen role plays, funny moments, challenges, secrets videos, or entire stories made inside the game. And every time one of those videos gets popular, there's a chance that thousands of people who have never played Brookhaven before discover it. Someone could watch a Brookhaven video today and think, wait, I want to try that. They join Roblox, search for Brookhaven, and suddenly there's another new player. Then that player might eventually make their own videos, play with their friends, or introduce someone else to the game. So Brookhaven isn't only relying on the same players staying forever. It's constantly getting new players from videos, friends, and Roblox itself. Another thing that helps Brookhaven is that it's accessible. Roblox is played on all kinds of devices. Some people have powerful gaming PCs, but plenty of players are using phones, tablets, laptops, or older computers. If a game is extremely demanding, some players might not even be able to run it properly. Brookhaven doesn't have to rely on insane graphics or huge amounts of visual effects to be fun. It's relatively simple, which means more people can actually play it. And for a social game, that's extremely important. If your friend can play Brookhaven on their phone and you can play it on your computer, you can still join the same server and have fun together. The game doesn't need everyone to have the same expensive setup. Brookhaven also gets updates, which helps keep things from becoming completely stale. New houses, vehicles, items, locations, and other features give players more things to use in their role plays. And the interesting part is that an update doesn't even have to completely change the game. If the developers add a new house, players can turn it into a new story. If they add a new vehicle, players can use it in their role play. If they add a new location, suddenly players have somewhere else to hang out. The developers aren't necessarily creating the entire experience for the players. They're giving players more tools to create their own experience. And that's a really smart way to keep a role-play game fresh. There's also something else that makes Brookhaven different from a lot of Roblox games. It doesn't need to chase every trend. Roblox trends change constantly. One month, everyone might be playing a simulator. Then another game becomes popular, and suddenly everyone's playing that instead. A new game can explode overnight, reach millions of visits, and completely dominate Roblox. But sometimes that hype doesn't last. Players eventually get bored, finish the available content, or simply find something new. Brookhaven doesn't have to depend on being the newest game. It's already established. Even if someone leaves Brookhaven for a few weeks to play another game, they can always come back. And when they return, they haven't necessarily finished Brookhaven while they were gone. They can just jump back in and start another story. And honestly, that's probably the biggest reason Brookhaven has lasted this long. A lot of Roblox games are built around giving you something to accomplish. Brookhaven is built around giving you something to create. That's a massive difference. You can eventually finish a story game. You can eventually complete every quest. You can eventually unlock everything in a simulator. But there's no point where you've officially completed role-playing. There's always another story to make, another character to play, another friend to join, or another completely random idea to try. And that's why Brookhaven has been able to survive while so many other Roblox games have disappeared. It doesn't need to have the most complicated mechanics. It doesn't need to have the best graphics. And it doesn't need to constantly be the #1 game on Roblox. It just needs people who want to hang out and create their own fun. As long as Roblox players keep wanting a place where they can socialize, role play, and make their own stories, Brookhaven has a reason to stay around. So while the next big Roblox game might come along and steal everyone's attention for a while, don't be surprised if Brookhaven is still sitting there when the trend is over. Because you can beat a lot of Roblox games. You can finish their stories. You can unlock all their content, but you can't really finish Brookhaven. And that's exactly why it won't die. If this video helped you understand why Brookhaven has survived for so long, make sure to like and subscribe for more Roblox news, updates, and interesting videos.